So anyone else getting a Kingdom Hearts vibe out of that one? Just dropping from the sky into the water. No? Just me? Yeah. So when it comes to that cutscene, I have to admit, I like it. The fact that it even shows you as your armor. So if you miss that little icon that shows you what your job could be, you get that really cool, here's what you're going to look like in the future. So now we begin the non-voice acted segment. I'm going to have to act this, aren't I? That's never good. You're right, lad. You were moaning in your sleep and sweating buckets besides. Yeah, it doesn't match him, does it? Alright, so this is the part, like I said, is going to be a little bit slow. It's pretty much a long, involved cutscene of introducing you to your starting city. As you can kind of see in the background, we're heading towards the wonderful forest city of Gridania. So it'll be the Aether, I reckon. Some are prone to sickness than others. Not to fret, though. You'll soon get used to it. And with that, we take a swig. And enter Moogles. Just to be annoying with the trumpet into hammer space. Feeling better, Kapo. Kapo. I can't do the Kapo. Kapo. So, yes, Moogles. You see us, I knew you could. You're Moogles, we live in this wood. Now, I don't know if everybody gets to meet Moogles on their starting city story. I'm going to have to do some of the other starting city stories, but yeah, it's actually kind of funny because you can tell that no one else is either paying them attention or can see them. So normal folks can't see or hear us, which makes you special. Boy, I'm a special snowflake. Oh, welcome. Welcome, welcome. And seeing how's you're special, maybe you can tell us something. The wood's been restless of late. Lots of strange things happening. Have you chanced to witness anything suspicious? Kapoo? 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 Raggy. Yes, the Moogle decides to start drinking the old man's booze. Yes. I just want to know how anyone justifies that. Does the booze disappear? Or do they see the bottle floating in the air? No one's paying attention, so, I mean, they're probably just not seeing it right now, but, yeah, I don't know. So, yes, of course, you've only just arrived. Well, there's nothing for it then. We'll just have to keep looking. Nice to meet you, Kapo. So there we go. We've met the forest spirits in the form of Moogles with their little poof balls on their heads. He's the one that's been drinking. Shouldn't he be the one that sees the pink elephants or the Moogles or whatever? Oh my goodness, they were real. They existed because he doesn't have alcohol anymore. Whatever. Gridania is still a far way off, in case you are wondering. Seeing as you're awake, how about you keep me company till we get there? Them young'uns don't much care for conversation, see. Brimmont's the name, and peddlin's my trade. As for your good self, judging by your unusual garments, I'd say you are one of them new adventurers. Am I warm? And yes, we are the mute, silent protagonist. I've got the slightly red hair. I could be Chrono. I knew it! Going whether the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory. Now that's what I call living. So as long as you can avoid dying, I mean. Ain't no secret that adventure is a risky business. These days especially. What was it first attracted you to it? Alright, now this is an interesting question, because there is actually a consequence to this answer. It is nothing so grand. I mean, you're not going to get a different story, you're not going to get anything major. But what this will do is, this starting question is going to reward you with a ring. Now this ring is unbound, so you could technically start multiple characters and get all the rings. I could do all the rings. But they're minor. They're pretty much just for starting characters. So to gain power will give you a ring, I believe, with vitality on it. Amass fortune, I believe, will give you... I believe that's the one I want. You know, I'm going to take a quick look and I will get the exact answers for you here. All right, here we are with the correct answers. This time, power will give you a ring that gives you crit. Glory will give you a ring that increases your vitality. The last answer with no actual answer will give you a ring that increases your determination. Determination is a stat that increases your damage, but also increases the amount of healing you receive. So it's not as much as getting crit. It's more for support. Now, a Mass of Fortune is the one I'm going to pick because this is the crafting ring. It will give you CP. CP are crafting points. The more CP you have, the more you can improve the quality of the items you're going to make. Again, these are only like up to level 8 rings. You can wear them at level 1 though, so I'm going to go ahead and say to a Mass of Fortune. And it shouldn't change anything else other than what ring I get. Fortune, eh? Well, it's a dream we've all had at one time or another. Once you've learned to handle yourself in a fight, you'll want to pay a visit to whichever crafting or gathering guild tickles your fancy. Gridania's renowned for its leatherworkers and carpenters, not to mention its botanists. Adventuring ain't just about killing things after all. A peaceful pastime may well make you fortune. Yeah, I'm tripping over my lines again. It's okay, I'm not good at dry reading, I fully understand this. Just remember though, there are more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead. And that's a fact. What's that they say? Dead DPS equals no DPS? It's true. As you can see, the answer to the question right there hinted right into go talk to a crafting guild. Alright, halt! Go no further! Halt, citizen! I've stolen 10,000 cheese wheels. What's this then? Wah! And there I stand, stoic. Like, an arrow. What's going on? A skirmish has broken out up ahead with the FFXI. For your own safety, you must remain here until I can get my lines right. That's not happening. Here we go. Skirmish with the beastmen. Bloody hells! Well, hold them here! Try to break clear! Yeah. Getting the hell out of dodge, that's for sure. So yeah, there was a brief moment of excitement, and then we're back to the slow-moving carriage. I don't even know. That was too bleeding close. Nice of the FFXI to send us a welcome party, though, eh? Joking aside, this won't be the last time you meet those feathered fiends, so you just take care, alright? By the by, is this your first trip to Gridania? So is this my first trip? Well, we're going to go ahead and say yes. It's going to increase the exposition, I'm sure, but it is true. It is! Well then, let this journey to iterant tell you the ins and outs of your destination. Hold on. Whatever. You used a word that I don't often see, so we're going to move past it. The city of Gridania lies slap bang in the middle of the Black Shroud, the biggest, luscious forest in all of Azoria. Though it ain't near as lush as it used to be, saying that. Not since the calamity laid half of it to waste. Destruction prompted a new herd of nasties to move in, and gave the exile needed encouragement. Birdman raids become a daily occurrence. Ah, at long last! Behold, Gridania, the forest nation blessed by the elementals.
The Black Shroud, the ancient forest, close to the heart of Eorzea. Beneath the boughs of its towering trees lies the woodland city-state of Gridania. Once a sanctuary from the world beyond the hedge, even the mighty elementals, eternal guardians of the forest, could not forestall the coming of the 7th Umbral Era. However, the goddess Nofika was never one to forsake her children, and today she welcomes another brave soul. One who may yet play a telling role in the tale of this great realm.
And here's where we part ways, son. I'm off to the markets to deliver me wares, and then it's back to the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this. My way of thanks for keeping me company. You never did tell me your name, did you? Well, here's an idea. Become the sort of storied person I can brag about having met, and I'll consider us square.
May the matron take him to her bosom, that he may never want. And in his heart, sow serenity, purity, and sanctity.
And here we are in the starting city of Gridania. We got a little bit of the good voice acting, a little bit of the bad, which was me, not the game. Don't blame the game for me. As you can see there, it's got kind of a long-ish intro. But that's Final Fantasy for you, always with the setups. Ah, you there, yes, you. Your face is not known to me. Newly come to the city, no doubt. I am Bertinant, a wood whaler of Gridania. It is my duty to protect our nation from our enemies while welcoming those who may yet prove her friends. Let us see what you are. So if I were her enemy, would I just kind of pull out my spear and just kind of start attacking? I could do that. Alright, welcome to Gridania, vibrant forest nation, cradled in the bosom of nature. Please select a control scheme. Alright, so, beautiful thing. PC version is what I'm on, and I can choose to play on the Gamepad if I so desire. And I'm going to tell you, the Gamepad controls for this game are actually pretty good. Final Fantasy XI's Gamepad controls were excellent, but Final Fantasy XI was a kind of a clunky menu system in which, you know, pretty much there was no reason not to play with a gamepad. In this, there are much more reasons to play with a keyboard and mouse because a lot of the tooltips and things like that have been updated to reflect the keyboard and mouse gameplay style. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it to use the keyboard and mouse, and we're going to get the basic controls. So you can see the good old WASD is going to move me around. You can jump in this. That's, you know, it's such a minor thing, but I love to jump. And 11, I dreadfully missed being able to jump. Turn character and move camera controls. So as a new player, I would highly recommend not disabling active help. The reason is that there's going to be more complicated systems down the way. It's going to start off easy, but there's going to be more things you're going to want to know about. And so having these pop up every now and then is a minor inconvenience until you get used to all the advanced system of the game. Alright, move the character and adjust the position of the camera. When you're ready, proceed. Speak to Bertinant. Alright, so we can move around. You can see the left and right are actually turning keys and not strafe keys. Q and E are strafe keys, and I may change that around. Yes, I heard you. And of course he auto walks that way. That's okay. Alright, so we're kind of moving around. What's interesting is it's giving me 60 frames a second, but I'm noticing a little bit of choppiness. I might turn some things down. It could partially be because I'm recording. So here's a wonderful thing is little pop-ups that'll let you know what's happening in the area. You can click on it if you want. Lets me know about initiating quests, talks to players with the exclamation marks above their heads. Alright, very good. Standard hotbars here, I can move it as I desire, so the UI is fully customizable. As a matter of fact, if I hit escape and we go into HUD layout, I can move a whole bunch of stuff around. I can move the experience bar, the parameter bar, as well as hotbar 1 and 2. Cross hotbar is for the controller. So what I might do is move my hit points and all of that a little higher, honestly, because having the hotbars be at the bottom is usually kind of what I'm used to. So I would recommend kind of coming in, taking a look at your settings, and deciding for yourself where do you want to have your stuff. Because you can move anything you want, anywhere you want, for the most part. There doesn't appear to be any major limitations to the system. So I'm going to give myself 3 hotbars at the bottom for now, and then we're just going to move the parameters around here. And let's go ahead and save. Oh, there we go. And I can turn on the... Oh, it's either in system or character configuration. I think it's under character configuration. But here, just so you know, you can... I chose keyboard and mouse, but at any time I can say, hey, put me in gamepad mode. And I kind of want to show this off because this is the gamepad crossbar right here. Let's go ahead and move it down real fast with the rest of these. Alright, so the way this works is that if you hold R2 or L2 or the trigger buttons on your Xbox pad, you'll select one of the two, and you can then perform actions by hitting the corresponding key, such as circle, triangle, X, or the 4 D-pads. So you basically have access to 2 hotbars at any given time by pushing those buttons, and the control scheme works well with the gamepad there. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the hotbars of the character configuration here. Go back to keyboard and mouse. All sorts of options. This game is very customizable with all of these options here. Name settings and display, hotbar settings. So I'm going to go ahead and display hotbar 3, apply and close, and there we're good to go. Let's go ahead and talk to BertNet. So for acting with characters, you have to right-click in order to respond. And once you've initiated a quest, a prompt will appear detailing the objectives and rewards. Click on the Accept button in the lower left. So, standard quest system. This is something that's new to Final Fantasy XIV with the Realm Reborn. And this is something a lot of players are going to be used to in things like World of Warcraft. The standard questing. You go, you accept the quest, you're going to get a reward. In this case, you're going to get 50 experience and 103 gil, which is the money for the game. Now, once you click accept is when you actually get the story for the quest. Basically, the quest box is just kind of a synopsis of, hey, here's what you're about to do. And then when you click accept is when you get all the details. So another green adventurer thought as much. We cannot allow strangers to wander Gridania unchecked and untested. Before you rush off and begin pestering every second citizen for work, I suggest you make yourself known to at the Carline Canopy. It's the headquarters of the local Adventurers Guild, in case you were wondering. Carline Canopy is the building you see behind me. Speak to Mother Minon within, and she will take you in hand. Alright, something here too. Actually, it looks like I can't. You can normally adjust the box of the chat box. For that particular cutscene, it looks like that's only going to be there. So begin a quest, use the duty list to help you accomplish your task. So once I've accepted it, the objectives will appear under the duty list, which is their name for the quest tracker on the right. And I can have a maximum of 5 displayed. It doesn't mean I can have more than 5, just only 5 are displayed at one time. And clicking on the title will open the quest journal so I can look at the rewards on it. So I can click over here and it will tell me everything I need to know, the objectives. I can even click on the map to see where I need to go. So let's go ahead and move the map around. I can just move it all around. And now I can zoom in and out, but what you might notice is it doesn't have a scalable map to show me the entire world. If I want to go to the next zone, for example, like Central Shroud, I'd have to click on it, And then here we go, I can take a look at Central Shroud, but because I haven't been here, I can only see where the highlights are, and I can't see the actual map. I'd have to go and explore the world itself, which is better than what 11 gave you. I'll be honest. Final Fantasy 11, you had no map. You wandered around. When you wandered around, it didn't even fill out the map. You had to go buy a map from somebody, and that was if you were lucky enough to know where you had to buy it, because some places you got a map after you had been through the area. I don't know what the point of that was, to be honest. But you can look at the world map. You can give you a rough idea where you are. It's not too bad. It's not the most intuitive map in the world, but at least it will let you know where you are. It even gives you your X and Y coordinates of my mouse cursor. So if I want to know where I am, I'd have to mouse over me. 1313 basically. Oh, that's lovely. So if I right click on this guy, I can see, yeah, okay, so I can move this around anywhere. So like I said, the UI completely customizable. And since it gets rid of my hop bars at the bottom, I don't mind having this there. Newly come to Gridania, are you? I suggest you continue your merry way to Carline Canopy. Just behind me, Mother Manon wants a word with you. Alright, so you can talk to random NPCs and they will give you little tidbits and nuggets of wisdom. I can jump! Yay! This is like the one thing that was missing from Final Fantasy XI. One of the major things. And yes, I can dance if I want to and leave your friends behind. It lasts for one cycle, I believe. Yeah, it doesn't continue. They said they will allow you to continue dancing in one of the first patches that comes out, I believe. So, into the Adventurers Guild, in which case we're given much more. So, this, like I said, this is going to start off slow. If you are a veteran of MMOs, you're going to look at this, you're going to probably roll your eyes like, oh my god, this is so standard, this is going to be boring. Yes, the beginning of this game is very much a tutorial. And you'll see that as I go forward, that a lot of this is just stuff that a veteran MMO player is going to get. But what they're trying to do is also get people that aren't veteran MMO players. Alright, so they're trying to get a little bit of both. They're going to have hardcore systems at the end game. Now, unfortunately, with this beta, I'm limited to level 20, so I'm not going to get anywhere near any kind of end-game system. And a lot of this is going to seem fairly simplistic, and a lot like WoW. The first 15 levels are pretty much catered to be a lot like World of Warcraft or other MMOs that are very similar, in which things are pretty much quest-driven for the most part. And then later on, you start to get more and more things that open up to you. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk with Mother Manon. I'm going to say her name 5 different times, I'm pretty sure. Well, what have we here? Wide-eyed, wondering young adventurer. Come put your name down in the guild, I assume. Welcome. Manon's my name, or Mother Manon, as most call me, and the Carline Canopy is my place. As the head of the Adventurers Guild in Gridania, I have the honor of providing guidance to the fledgling heroes who pass through our gates. Pass through our gates. No matter your ambitions, the Guild is here to help you attain them. In return, we expect you to fulfill your duties as an adventurer by assisting the people of Gridania. A fine deal, wouldn't you agree? To an outsider's eyes, all may seem well within our nation, but naught could be further from the truth. The people live in a state of constant apprehension. The Exi and various gangs of common bandits provide an unending supply of trouble. Trouble compounded by the ever-present threat of the Galian Empire to the north, that is to say, nothing of the calamity. Even now, the wounds have barely begun to heal. Ah, but I speak to you as if you were there. Forgive me. 5 years passed, Eorzea was well nigh laid to waste, when a dread worm emerged from within the lesser moon, Dalamund, and fire rained upon the realm. It is which people call the Calamity. Scarcely a square mile of the Twelves Woods was spared by this devastation, yet, despite the forest's extensive wounds, not a soul among us can recall precisely how it all happened. I'm well aware of how improbable that must sound to an outsider. It is improbable, but is also true. For reasons we can ill explain, the facts surrounding the calamity are shrouded in mystery. There are as many versions of events as there are people willing to recount them. Yet, amidst the hazy recollections and conflicting accounts, all agree on one thing, that Eorzea was saved from certain doom by a band of valiant adventurers. Whatever else we've misremembered, none of us have forgotten the heroes who risked their life and limb the sake of the realm. And yet, whenever we try to say their names, the words die upon our lips. And whenever we try to call their faces to mind, we see naught but silhouettes amidst a blinding glare. Thus have these adventurers been known as the Warriors of Light. Ahem, pray, do not feel daunted by the deeds of legends. We do not ask that you become another Warrior of Light, only that you do what you can to assist the people of Gridania. Great or small, every contribution counts. I trust you will play your part. All that's left then is to conclude the business of registration. Here's a quill. Scroll your name right there. So this is the answer to the previous version of the game when the Cataclysm happened and players defeated them. They became known as the Warriors of Light. So Legacy players are going to be the Warriors of Light. And on Legacy servers, I do believe they will gain some recognition from the populace. But this is a way of basically making it so that every player can feel like they were part of it. And so that's why the characters are not remembered, because you have so many different players that probably completed that part of it. Alright, and I would appreciate it if you would use your real name. There is a special place in the 7th Hell for those of us who use amusing aliases. Malik Grayson. Are you quite sure that isn't an assuming alias? Or amusing alias, assuming? Well, I am assuming. Very well, from this moment forward, you are a registered adventurer of Gridania. Nation blazed. You know, I just can't talk. It's early. It's bound by the 12's wood. The guild expects great things from you. Look at what just arrived. Another goddamned adventurer. Don't you start with that. Adventurers are the very salve that Gridania needs. The elder seedster herself bade us welcome with open arms. Do you mean to disregard her will? Of course not, lest you forget it is my sworn duty to uphold the peace. Am I to blame if outsiders bring mistrust upon themselves? Hey, look, we're all Lancers here. Let's get along. You, adventurer! Mind that you do not cause any trouble here, or I shall personally cast you out of this realm into the 7th Hell. Pay that outburst no mind. He meant only to counsel you. Suspicious characters have been prowling the 12's wood as of late. You see, and the wood whalers feel they cannot afford to take any chances. As is often the way with folk who live in isolation, Gridanians are warned to mistrust. They do not, well, distrust that which they do not know well. Your good self included. Fear not, however, given a catalogue of exemplary deeds and no more than a handful of years, the locals will surely warm to you. Oh boy! It's going to take me a few years. On behalf of my fellow citizens, I welcome you to Gridania. May you come to consider our nation your home in time. Now then, you may depend on old Mother Manon to teach you a few things that every adventurer should know. Alright, we're out of that. Alright, you know, it's an excuse, but it is early. I'm normally a night owl, and here it is, 6 in the bloody morning for me. Oh, well, complete. We're done here. I don't know how many people came here for my wonderful non-existent voice acting. So this is a lie. It says it includes the introductory games tutorial, but there's still much more that we're going to learn. So we've taken the first step, so you have to listen to her wisdom and discover the adventures. So this game will do its best to teach you how to play without so much hitting you over the head with how to do it. You're going to get these. Main scenario quests, important quests, tell the story of Eorzea and her people that are called main scenario quests. So these are the ones that you will have to do to continue your quest. So you can tell by the icon, the flaming ball of fire, that this is the next story quest that you have to do. Every other quest is inconsequential. You don't have to do them. But if you want to unlock systems, such as unlock the ability to change classes, I have to do this particular set of quests. So with this we get close to home, and we get 50 experience, 107 gil. Let's begin the adventuring, shall we, now that you are a formal member of the Adventurers Guild. We must be sure that you have a firm grasp of the fundamentals of adventuring. To that end, I have 3 tasks for you to perform. First is to visit the Aetherite, the massive crystal that stands in the middle of the Aetherite Plaza and not far from the Carlin Canopy. This device enables instantaneous transportation. The Aetherite plays a key role in the life of the ever-wandering adventurer. Once you have located the crystal, all you need to do is touch the surface. A member of the Wood Whalers will be present to offer further instruction. Second task is to visit the Lancers Guild. It's my guild. There's no better place to learn the arts of the polearm. Speak with Jillian and she will explain the benefits of joining the guild. For your third and final task, you'll have you visit the markets in the heart of Old Gridania's commercial district. There you shall find weapons and armor, and various items an adventurer might need on his travels. There's, however, more to the markets than buying and selling goods. Speak with Parsmontret and listen well to his counsel. The master merchant can be uncooperative at times, so be sure to offer him one of my famous eel pies. Like so many men, he is much more charitable when his stomach is full. Here, I made a batch not long ago. You have your tasks, Malik. May Nafika guide you to your path. One more thing. Should you happen to come across any citizens in need, don't be afraid to offer a helping hand. Certain they would be pleased to meet an adventurer in whom they can confide their woes. Granted, the work they offer is unlikely to be of realm-shattering importance, but prove your worth and build a reputation, and in time folk will be more inclined to entrust you with matters of the moment. Pretty much the game telling you, hey, here are the main things you need. And so this is what I mean by the game kind of teaching you without hitting you over the head with it. She gives me 3 tasks that I have to perform as my starting adventurer. One is to visit the Aetherite. That's going to get me bound to home. And another is to visit my guild, which is going to teach me everything I need to know about being a lancer. And the other is to visit the markets, which will teach me all about how to buy equipment. So the game is basically giving you a progression of saying, here's what you're going to need to do to start out. You need to do this, this, and this, and once you go there, you're going to learn the systems of the game that you're going to be using the most often. So let's see, main menu, quick, easy access to most of the game's features, selecting character, opens a journal, right? Let me see, if you wish to customize the game's various settings, key binding, HUD layout, system configuration, there's active help, so there's that. All of this is, you can put hotkeys to all of this, so you don't have to worry about it. Let's see, game progress is saved automatically. There's no in-game save or load functions. It's an MMO, of course, we should know that, being MMO veterans, right? Right? Prevent data from being lost or corrupted. Strongly recommend that each play session is enabled to log out from the system menu. Okay. Now you may notice that some things are grayed out, like my duty finder, free company, which is guilds, link shells, which are kind of chat rooms, return, which is actually like being a hearthstone, except for you don't carry it in your inventory, so you can hearth back. Same with teleport. So some things are grayed out because they haven't been unlocked yet. So navigation, pressing M or looking on the navigation map down here will bring up the map. The objective is located in the area, will indicate with a special icon, and the location of quest objectives can be confirmed by clicking on the objective in the duty list. Alright, so lots of different things here that we will eventually be using. Now let's talk to the innkeep, because there's something here I want to go over, and that's having a room. Okay, so we can't get a room yet without her permission. I want to talk about it now, though, because this is going to be important to you as you adventure in the game. You want to get a inn at the room, or get an inn at the room. Get a room at the inn. Did I mention this early? When you go to log out of the game, do your best to either log out at your inn or log out at some kind of sanctuary out in the world. I believe large sanctuaries like this count. The reason for that is when you log out in a sanctuary, you will get rested experience. I can't show it to you now because I'm not in a place that does it, but rested experience is pretty much double experience for a set amount of time. Now, from what I've heard, rested experience is percentage based, which means log out in an inn and then use the rested experience for your highest level class. Because if you spend your rested experience on a level 1 character, you've used it up, because it's a percentage of that. You gain basically 1 level from rested experience, from what I understand. So if you waste it on a level 1, you've lost a ton of rested experience you could have had. So use it on your highest level class. And eventually what will happen is, for leveling up your low level classes, we'll use leaves. And I'll get to that once I'm able to unlock that. That should be around level 12 or so. In the meantime, I cannot jump over banisters. This is going to be a good point to stop. It's been a lot of story and exposition, and so what I'll do is the next video we'll move on to starting out with quests. I just want to show off the location here of the airship. This is another system that will not be unlocked until later, so yep, see, you're restricted. So at about level 15 or so, I'll be able to gain passage to an airship, and then I can travel at will to the 3 main cities from here. So it's just right at the very beginning. You can see everything that you need is pretty much right here. So yeah, this is the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Final Fantasy XIV. I know it's kind of underwhelming at first. Oh, hey, look, rain. Why am I impressed by weather? I don't know. I just think it's kind of cool. Oh, look! There's a Jude Mathis already. Yes, I've been playing Tales of Exilia, so I fully recognize that character. Oh my goodness, there's already someone got Final Fantasy. I should have totally tried to get Kane Highwind. I really should have, as I am a Dragoon. Alright. Well, that's that, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you on the next one.